I'm Bailey Bates. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. The development of a brand new water tower is forcing an animal rescue in Temple to find somewhere else to go. But the owner of the rescue says she's willing to go to trial to get exactly what her land is worth. 6 News anchor Adrian Alexander breaks it down for us.
Pearl's Place Animal Rescue has called Little River Road home since 2013. Now, owner Lisa Cathan says she's preparing for another move, but only if the city makes what she calls a fair offer.
We're ready. We're just waiting for an honest, fair offer.
The city of Temple says it needs the property for a 1 million gallon elevated water storage tank, a project identified in its 2019 Water Master Plan to support future growth and maintain reliable water service. City officials say the higher elevation of the property makes it an ideal location for the tank. But Cathan says the offer on the property was far below its value.
I want the city to be fair. I mean, we've been here 13 and a half years. I purchased this in January of 2013, and it was for rescuing dogs in our grooming business, which is all a nonprofit.
So she rejected the offer and has hired an attorney to negotiate a better deal.
Unfortunately, it's the taxpayers that lose.
Pearl's Place is home to more than 70 animals, including dogs, goats, a miniature horse, and cats. So finding a new location won't be simple.
They offer a house on a half an acre in a subdivision. What do you think those neighbors would think if I moved all these animals in?
City officials say no condemnation petition has been filed and negotiations are still underway. Even then, Cathan believes the property will ultimately be acquired under eminent domain.
Well, I'm not going into debt for the city of Temple to make money off of a water tower. And it's just disheartening that they don't care.
A spokesperson for the city of Temple says that staff will continue negotiating in good faith while city council determines any next steps. For months, 6 News has followed the case of former Waco attorney Adam Dean Hoffman, from his controversial plea deal to his release from jail to questions about why he was still eligible to practice law. Well, now the Texas State Bar has officially marked Hoffman as not eligible to practice law in Texas. Our Juliana Jackson has more on why lawmakers say they're now pushing for changes.
Former Waco attorney Adam Dean Hoffman can no longer practice law. The Texas State Bar lists him as not eligible to practice after the Texas Supreme Court officially accepted his resignation. It's a development many people have been waiting for. But why did it take until now for it to happen? Under Texas law, a judge doesn't have the authority to take away an attorney's license. Only the Texas Supreme Court can accept a law license resignation. And before that can happen, the attorney has to sign and submit paperwork. State Bar officials tell 6 News they provided those documents to Hoffman while he was serving his jail sentence. But the paperwork wasn't filed with the Supreme Court until June 9th.
Obviously elated about that. I don't like the fact that it was delayed as long as it was.
After Hoffman's felony charges were reduced, he pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges, meaning the state bar couldn't automatically disbar him. The case drew statewide attention after his first trial ended in a hung jury. Hoffman accepted a plea deal with the state's attorney general, served less than 60 days in the McLennan County Jail, gave up his law license for 5 years, and wasn't required to register as a sex offender. State Representative Pat Curry says while this latest update is an important step, he believes the case exposed gaps in Texas law that still need to be addressed.
Execution of this case certainly caused the outcome that got here.
Curry says he's drafting legislation in hopes to prevent similar outcomes in child sex abuse cases.
Where we need to rise up and do our job and try to make it better for the future and protect our children.
While lawmakers continue working on proposed changes, they also say that they could prevent a case like this from happening again, and that's what they're going to be working on in the next legislature, and we'll continue to follow this case as it develops. Those are your headlines from Central Texas.